Hi, this is the second part of my COVID-19 vlog, and I would like to show you what it was like during the past few days. The first part was about my reactions as soon as I got the news that the sector that I live in the city of Colombo, was about to be locked down or imposed under curfew. That was Sunday evening, and then on Tuesday and Wednesday, I went around in this sector and other parts of the city and recorded video to show you what the streets were like, and while going to work during the day and during the night, how uncannily silent things were in this crowded city, and now it's looks half dead, and how sector by sector the city went into curfew. And I would like to show with this map how that happened, and now the entire city is under curfew, and also the entire western province that we live in, that is the key province of Sri Lanka, with all the capital, much of the administration, the commerce, all that infrastructure, and the highest population density. So this will be under curfew until Monday morning. Today is Friday. Uncannily silent. As always, there is some traffic moving on the road, but no pedestrians. There is a strict police curfew imposed, and the movements forbidden unless you have special permission. And actually, I don't want to go on with this vlog. I'm going to stop for a while because it's, it's a burden on my mind. And everywhere people will be facing similar situations, and I'm sure that people don't want to have endless, video footage and stories about what coronavirus, COVID-19 is doing to us. But this will be enough to give you an idea of what daily life is like now. And from now on, I'm going to move on to other things, more relaxing, books, literature, music, things that we can unburden ourselves and cope with this situation. We will meet again sometime in future, hopefully when things are better. I hope things do not get much worse. Okay, here's a quick overview of the map of Colombo, as how sectors were placed under curfew or lockdown sector by sector, and it started with the sectors right at the top. If you follow these grid lines, they are marked 1 to 20 on the left margin, 1 on top and 20 at bottom, and left to right, A, B, C, D up to L, with the letters at the top and bottom. So okay, the sectors Colombo 13, that is, if you follow the grid lines, 3 and 4 and 5 sections, F, G, H, those are the areas that roughly which came under curfew first, and this was followed by the sectors Colombo 10, which is the Dembatakode area, that is, if you follow the grid line 9 up to 9H, 9H, that you will get that sector. And then it was followed by the broader swath of area, sectors 9 and 10, F, G, yes, 9F, 9G, 10F, 10G, those areas. And that is getting closer and closer to where I live, which is right at the center, Borale, that is Colombo 8, sector Colombo 8. If you follow the grid lines 11 and 12, at the middle G, H, and I, and that is the intersect, where the intersect, that's where I live, Borale, Kota Road, that is Enempera Mawata, the new name. On Sunday, that sector came under curfew, and then if you move to the west, that is toward the left, toward the sea, the Indian Ocean, you get Fort area, which is the key administrative and commercial area with the harbour, an area sandwiched between the sectors Colombo 10 and Colombo 1. Colombo 1 is Fort, came under lockdown last week, and that that had a big impact on transportation because the central bus terminals are there. So they couldn't operate, and the Fort has the central railway station that came under lockdown soon after. Fort and Peta. Peta is the beehive, bustling commercial area where everything you buy wholesale, from mechanical things to foodstuffs, you buy wholesale or retail from there. So that is swiftly under curfew again, and this was followed today, Friday, by the entire city of Colombo, including the Western Province, where we live, with the highest population density of the whole island. So until Monday, that is Monday early morning, that will be under curfew, the entire thing. So that's how we got locked down swiftly, as authorities battle desperately to try and halt the spread of COVID-19 second wave, which has already, I believe, between 8,000 and 9,000 infected cases, almost triple the number we had at the on 1st of October when the second wave started. Okay, this is where I was Sunday evening. Today is Tuesday morning, and this supermarket is now closed, and so is the adjoining cinema. It's bad news for everyone. There is another cinema across the road that's also closed. The post office, and it looks pretty animated with all these vehicles passing through. They're just passing through, nobody's stopping here, and there are hardly any pedestrians. You get a few walking around. I'm on foot myself. I just walked up the junction. That's the lane where I live, and I'm going to walk around for a bit and see how things are. This theatre is one of the landmarks in this area. It's also closed up. Bad news for the arts, for cinema, theatre. Everything has come to a stop. This car sales closed up. Actually, the government has banned all vehicle imports. This supermarket, this is my neighborhood supermarket, that is also closed. So the temple has not closed down, but there is no one inside. And the lockdown during April and May, it was completely closed, and there was no one. And people like him, he has come and fed this morning. He said he has come and fed the pigeons this morning, and so people will do what they can, but it's very difficult. He has bought a kilo of rice grains, which is not enough for all these pigeons, but this is what people can afford. This is going to get harder and harder. Despite this traffic moving, this section of town is under lockdown. On my way to work, I feed this dog. She's all alone. She's solitary. No other dogs around, and she's very timid. And she comes running. There are no shops open in this at the junction, so I don't think she's getting much. Doesn't look as if she's getting much. So she'll be happy to have this meal. Yeah, she's very timid. Okay, have your meal. Okay, I've been to the bank. I have to pay my monthly installment on the laptop, and it's uncanny. It's just barely a couple of kilometers from where I live, and here there's no lockdown. But it's, of course, the streets are not crowded, not the usual traffic, and very few pedestrians. But still, you know, there's a sense of life. And whereas even the junction where I live was pretty animated, but no pedestrians, plenty of passing traffic. So it's going to be like that. And here it's more strict than usual. You have to give your name, identification number, phone number, all those details. And if somebody with an infection walks in, we are all in trouble. But that's the risk. I mean, this can be done electronically. I don't have to come here, but I'm old-fashioned in that way. But also, I feel that, you know, I need this contact, just to go out and meet people. be in touch, or rather than stay at home isolated and do everything via electronic systems, the internet. Now I have to go and pay my internet bill. That is also very important. Otherwise, I can't keep in touch with you and the rest of the world. That's something else. But I also like human contact, that warmth. So I take the risk.